In this video, I'm going to talk about my opinions on the Sony PCM-D100, what I like about it, what I don't, what it's good for, and what it could do for you. First, let's get into what I like about it. Low noise. One of the most common things you'll hear about this recorder is how great it is for recording quiet sound sources due to its quality preamps and exceptional built-in microphones. This comes in handy when recording outdoor ambiences or when you make a mistake setting the levels and you need to boost the signal a bit. Now, if you do bring up the levels, you will eventually have hiss, as that happens with all recorders, but you'll be able to pull more out of your PCM-D100 than many other recorders. Internal storage. In addition to having an SD card slot, you also have 32GB of internal storage. This is fantastic, as once the internal storage is full, if you have an SD card inside the device, it will seamlessly continue to record onto the SD card. If you underestimate how long you need to record for and you're about to run out of space, this function might just save you. This also works vice versa, so if you've run out of space on the SD card, it will just keep recording on the internal storage. Weight. Coming in at just around 390 grams, it's actually just a bit lighter than the Zoom H6 with the XY capsule, which comes in at about 410 grams. It's heavier than the Zoom H5 with the XY capsule, which is about 270 grams, and heavier than the Zoom H4n, which weighs about 280 grams. High definition audio. Due to the quality of the preamps and built-in microphones, this recorder is well suited for a range of applications. For example, you could record meetings, lectures, interviews, live events, acoustic instruments, and even concerts. A small note here, the Sony PCM-D100 does not have XLR inputs, which does not make it suitable for podcasting or interviews, unless you plan on recording the interviews using the built-in microphones. You can use some microphones with it, but the selection is not as wide as with the recorder that does have XLR inputs. The PCM-D100 can record at various sample rates between 44.1 kHz and 192 kHz. I'll briefly go ahead and tell you which ones you should record at depending on what you need it for. But first, here's a sample of what the recorder sounds like. This sample is from a sound library that I released not too long ago. Have a listen. Okay, now that you know what it sounds like, let's go through the sample rates and I'll discuss what each of them tends to be good for. 44.1 kHz. If you're recording audio of a lecture or a meeting, which will just be used for listening purposes, this will do just fine. Additionally, if you record music, which won't be synced to picture, you can record at 44.1 kHz as well. As a side note, if you're recording audio for listening purposes only, it's still better to record a WAV file as opposed to an MP3 file, simply because the WAV file stores more information. So for example, if the meeting or the lecture took place in a very noisy environment, if you later wanted to denoise or remove as much noise as possible from the actual recording, having a high quality WAV file is going to serve you a lot better than having a small compressed MP3 file. 48 kHz. If you're recording audio for a video, including dialogue, you want to pick 48 kHz. This is the standard for audio used in this context. 96 kHz. If you're recording ambiences for use in film, you might want to switch to 96 kHz. They'll be converted back to 48 kHz when used in a film project, but recording them at a higher sample rate will allow your files to have a bit of a longer shelf life. 192 kHz. This is basically reserved for sound designers. If you need to record audio which will be highly processed and stretched, you need to make sure you're recording at this sample rate. It's a bit like shooting video at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. It takes up more space but allows you to slow it down more in post. It's portable. One of the reasons I love my Sony PCM-D100 is that it allows me to get quality stereo recordings without having to set up or carry multiple microphones and mic stands. It's easy to carry around, set up and tear down. It allows you to be stealthy, relatively speaking, and quick. Also, if you buy the Rycote kit for it with the grip and the shock mount, that makes it even easier because then you can just have it in your bag, you take it out, you press record, and you can record in most environments just by holding the recorder. I'll get to the Rycote kit in a minute. Battery life. The battery life is great. Some sources saying that you can record up to 12 hours of audio. Please do bear in mind that your experience may vary depending on what sample rate you're recording at and even the make of the batteries you're using. The battery compartment is actually locked in place with a sliding lock. This ensures that it's basically impossible for you to accidentally open the back and kill the power in the middle of a recording. It's durable. The Sony PCM-D100 is very durable, as evidenced by George Vlad's Instagram post. Naturally, you want to do everything you can in order to take care of your recorders, but it's good to know that it's designed to last. Changing levels. On the right hand side of the device, you will find a small wheel which allows you to change your gain level. The fact that it has white writing on top of the black wheel is fantastic, as it allows you to see the numbers more clearly in dimly lit situations. In addition to that, accidentally changing levels is difficult due to the latch that Sony has included. You can lift it, set your level, and then close it down in order to ensure that you do not accidentally change them. Wind protection. If you're interested, I've got affiliate links down below in the description where you can have a look at the Ryko kit for the Sony PCM-D100. Once you assemble the shock mount and the grip, which are very small, and you attach them to the actual recorder, that actually prevents a lot of handling noise that you might get if you were to just hold the device in your hands. They don't cost that much, and if you want to have a portable setup, you can literally just have the recorder with the windshield, the grip, and the shock mount already attached in your bag, and whenever you want to use it, you just pull it out, you press record, and you're ready to go. If you'd like to hear what the default windshield sounds like compared to the Ryko, Paul Viristek of Airborne Audio has created a fantastic video on the subject. I've included a link down below in the description where you can check it out. Now that I've addressed some of the good things about the Sony PCM-D100, I'd like to go into the one thing that I wasn't a fan of, and that's the inputs. There are no XLR inputs on the device, which is a shame. I would have personally loved to be able to plug in a couple of microphones in the PCM-D100 when needed. That being said, I understand that compromises have to be made with any piece of equipment and no device is perfect. So, should you buy it? As always, it depends. If you want to record a podcast and plug in multiple microphones, or if you want to be able to use your recording device as an audio interface, you might be better off with a Zoom H6 or a Zoom H5. If you want to record interviews or location dialogue, the PCM-D100 wouldn't be of much help either, due to its lack of XLR inputs. If you want to record pristine audio using the built-in mics with little to no hassle, the Sony PCM-D100 is for you. Whether you want to record quiet, natural ambiences, live music events, meetings, lectures, or more, the PCM-D100 will allow you to get great audio quality without the hassle of having to set anything up. These have been my thoughts on the Sony PCM-D100. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure to comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Now, before we go, if you want to support this channel, I have Amazon affiliate links in the description down below. If you click on the link, it will show you all the items that I've talked about in this video, and it will allow you to purchase them through Amazon if you so choose. If you do, it doesn't cost you anything extra and I get a small kickback from Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.